안녕하세요, 노기입니다. 예, 오늘은 메인 퀘스트 일촉즉발 하도록 하겠습니다. 조건이 두 개네요. 사슬갈이로 이동하기, 에랜드 찾기. 에랜드가 마지막으로 목격된 지점으로 이동하기입니다. 한번 가보도록 할까요?
This'll keep.
두 마리인가요? 세 마리. 여기 있네요.
Machine doesn't like fire.
아이, 어디다 쏘는 거야?
Steady.
맹맹거리기 전에 한 놈 잡고 튀기면 계속 경계 상태인가? 피해 있으면 경계 상태 해제되네요. 에이 젠장. 한 놈 잡고 에헤이. 이런. 하! 힘드네요. 어우, 생각보다 이렇게 무쌍 찍긴 어려워요. 돼지도 잡을 수 있나요, 그냥? 아, 잡을 수 있나 보네요.
I'll need these later for sure.
이거는 뭔가, 예. 스크롤.
Gemstone. It's green like glaze, but
귀한 건가 보네요.
hard and shiny. I wonder if merchants would be interested.
무기 의상 강화, 상인들과 거래 용도. 귀한 건가 보네. 예. 뭐 사슬갈이? 이거 이동을 하는 거네요. 이게
It's no good. Can't use the polecaster on that.
도망가니네.
Ground soaked with acid. Did the bristlebacks do this?
한 번 더.
That must be chain scrape. Jaruf said I could get my bow upgrade in there. I'll be able to tinker with my other gear too.
있어, 돼지 새끼 잡은 거. 여기. 저것도 아까 그거 아닌가요? 샤드? 매우 귀중한 거라고 하네요. 응? 뭐가 있는데 못 캐네?
All that.
나중에 캘 수 있는 건가? 예. 아니, 멧돼지 쫓아오다가 길 잃었네. 어디지? 어디에 사는지 모르겠어요. 이쪽에서, 이쪽에서 온 것 같지 않은데? 일로 나왔나? 뭔가? 이쪽에서 왔겠다. 예. 한밤의 꽃송이? 저기 뭐야. 뭐, 레어 아이템 같아, 레어 아이템. 힘주어 열기. 오케이. 뭐야, 이거. 오. 귀중품 보관함. 좋네요.
Can't fire without ammo.
엥? 오. 예, 이거 끝이었나봐요. 예, 뭐 이쪽 편 어디로 왔겠죠. 이제, 길 따라서 아까 가라는 대로 가야겠습니다. 마을 있어요, 마을. 아까 사슬갈이라고 써있던 바위 어디 갔지? 아, 이쪽 편에서 왔나, 내가?
Let's turn into something tasty.
아, 저 위로 또 왔던 것 같아요, 맞아. 저거 사슬가리도 이동하기. 너구리 말고 너구리 태그를 하고 있어. 왜? 사슬가리로 이동하기. 이동했잖아. 아, 사슬가리가 이쪽이다? 아, 화살표야? 네, 하도록 할게요. 아, 뭐라고. 이정표네, 이정표 한마디로. 난 저걸 어떻게 해서 되는 건 줄 알았는데.
It's a dead machine. It must be a bristleback. Maybe Errand took it down?
황량한 빛. 일단 이쪽 먼저 방문을. 예.
Outlander approaching. That the savior?
Wanna come in, Savior?
사슬가리. 아, 경비원들과 대화하기.
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Dwarf's orders.
Good enough for me.
By the forge. Petra? Aloy, what are you doing here?
전장에 나왔던 앤가 봐요.
In this dump. It's nice to see you too. And not a moment too soon. Come on. Damn brewery's the only thing I can count on in this place. Yeah, I heard. Machines, work stoppage. Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chainscrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him,
Yeah.
but he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh,
There's an embassy at Barrenlight I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flame Hair,
good to see you. You've got to move on.
Petra.
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
Well, this Olvan guy sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
활 좀 강화하자. 작업대 없냐? 뭐야?
The bristlebacks
아,
threaten
이거
us.
일본대야? 일단 여기 위에 보면 뭐 다 있어요. 지금 뭐 갑옷도 보이고 뭐 물금포도 보이고 여기다 작업대. 네, 활 강화. 데미지가 좀 느네요. 삼까지는 강화하지 못하나 봐요. 이건 뭐야? 슬링. 잠깐만요. 일단은 먼저 의상. 의상도 강화가 되나? 네, 뭐 많이 먹었으니까. 뭔가 의상도 강화. 여기는 아직 강화를 할 수 있어? 안 되죠, 아직. 이거는 뭐 슬링? 많이 쓰진 않지만 주머니 소지 주머니는 중요하죠. 예. 뭐야, 다람쥐 가죽이 필요해? 동물도 열심히 잡아야 되네요. 너구리, 다람쥐. 아하, 예, 잡아야 됩니다. 동물은 등한시 했더니. 산성 데미지를 가하는 탄약을 소지품에서 이해할 수 있다.
Like my uncle used to say, better half a saying.
This should be useful. Shop looks closed.
Yep,
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
벌써 썼어.
Maybe finally someone who will outdrink me, huh?
Hammer and tongs. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Don't often see new faces around here.
뭘까 여기는?
Hello there. Can't
보관함.
recall seeing you here before.
거의 뭐 나무 조각이 거의 다네요. 뭐 별거 없어요. 뭐야 이거? 노라의 유산? 이것도 강화를 별도로 또 해야 되나 보네요. 전 스킨 같은 건 줄 알았는데. 네, 뭐 일단은 뭐 지금 당장 하기는 애매하고요.
Wish you were beer.
Tinkering with one hammer isn't gonna kill you.
새 퀘스트, 퀘스트를 이제 좀 해야겠죠? 예.
I hope Corvin and the others are doing better than I am.
What happened to you?
That damn mine is what happened to me. It won't be the last injury if Olvin keeps shoving those tongs into those tunnels.
What mine?
Northeast of Chainscrape, where the river ends. I told Corvin we should stop when the first cave-in happened, but Olvin probably threatened to cut off our pay. Or worse.
How about you slow down and take me through it? How come Olvin's in charge? Don't these mines belong to the Karja?
Try telling Olvin that. He brought in all the backing to get them open. Might as well own them. Fire and spit. You ask him. He owns us as well.
코르밴드?
Who's Corvind?
He's their foreman. And a damn good one. The kind that knows how to deal with management when it gets unreasonable. But Olvind... his demands go beyond unreason. Corvin's been... He even blamed himself for my injury, when it was Olvind who ordered the extra ship.
Sounds like a good guy.
That's why we all put up with the long hours and lousy conditions. But if the whole mine becomes unstable, I'd rather suffer Olvin's wrath than die buried in rubble.
You mentioned you were injured in a cave-in.
Yeah, a couple days ago. That's how I hurt this blasted leg. Corvin and the others were opening a new vein while I was checking out the older one. As soon as their blast hit, tunnel I was in collapsed. Might have dodged it if I wasn't running on barely a spark of sleep. We were pushing too hard and too fast.
And you're afraid Corvind and the others might not be as lucky if it happens again.
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail right on the head.
I could check in on your crew if I'm in the area.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
퀘스트 메뉴가 이렇게 있네요. 사이드 퀘스트, 일거리. 아까 이거 일거리 등록해서 이렇게 됐구나. 메인 퀘스트, 일촉즉발, 사이드 퀘스트. 뭐 일단 뭐 급하게 할 이유는 없으니까요. 얼마나 한 거지? 벌써 30분이 다 됐네. 거의 이거 뭐 천천히 마을 둘러보면 1시간이 끝날 것 같네. 뭐 하지만 어쩔 수 없죠. 예.
How goes it, Hammerhead? Watch yourself now.
제가 뭐 이렇게 영상 분량을 뽑으려고 뭐 하는 건 아니니까 그냥 제 히스토리를 남기면서 진행하는 거라서. 예. 모닥불에서는 여기서도 저장을 하는 그런 건가요? 다른 저장, 수동 저장, 이동도 가능하겠네요. 이동도 가능하네. 퀘스트 좀 더 하고요.
Okay. Shoot. On the same side here, the bristlebacks threaten us.
상자.
We all know it was the car.
What do you want, Olvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of Hughes.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Olfant Freeholder. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast.
건방져, 새끼가.
You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my intimidated and taken advantage.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody had. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osseram gamble with someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osseram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osseram
까고
laborers
있네,
of this
씨.
land who do all the backbreaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the...
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Carja land, shouldn't a Carja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osseram folk, of course. You think a Carja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
So you have no real authority then. People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
쓰레기 새끼.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just... I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to...
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make... But my main priority is to look after the well-being of these...
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town. But with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Oz.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safe...
Just be ready to blow the whistle. Better see what that Carja match...
Still here, I see.
I have other plans.
By all means.
죽여버리고 싶은데? 어? 공격 안 돼? 아, 아쉽네. 야, 안에 뭐 가져갈 거라도 있어? 어? 금은 뭐야 그런 거? 어? 아, 쓰레기덩이네, 쓰레기더미. 격투장? 아, 뭐죠? 아, 뭐 접근 격투전 할 수 있나? 교관. 아, 복장 왜 이래?
Well, you know better than anyone it's a dangerous and not just against me. Name's O'Dirk. Best place to practice close combat. Say, I want you, the savior of Meridian, champion of the East, or...
Who?
The Enduring. A legendary... I've heard the Tanakh have training pits just like this. It's how the warriors get so fierce. and only the very best from the pits get to train.
So, to find the enduring...
You'll have to go far if you do. 3 clans, 3 capitals. My guess is you'd have to beat if the Tanakh don't kill you on sight, that is. But that's a far spark in the wind. I also offered challenge.
Who would I be fighting exactly?
Well, I know you, but you have to beat all the others. We only use dual blades and practice arrows, mind. These drunken fools would run themselves. You'll have to leave everything but your spear and practice arrows but I'll look after your gear, not to. So, what do you...
I might be.
That's what I like to hear.
뭘까요? 근접 격투? 튜토리얼. 아, 이거 알고 있어요. 도전! 뭐야? 연습. 연습 한번 해보죠. 뭐야? 시작하자마자? 가든 어떡해. 연습 이후. 아까 튜토리얼에서 이거를 해야 되나봐요. 기술표에서 기술표에서 풀라네. 미완료. 뭐 해보도록 하겠습니다.
Attacks are fast but easily blocked. So learn to combine them with other attacks.
이렇게 하나씩 해제를 해야 되나 봅니다. 뭐 당장 다 할 필요는 없는 것 같고요.
The attacks break weapon blocks and do more damage. But they're slow, so your opponents might counterattack.
일단 모기 공격까지만.
Power attacks smash weapon blocks to really hammer an enemy with damage. But they're slow and leave you vulnerable, so pick your moment.
예, 도전이 잠겼어요. 요거는 나중에. 이거는 뭐 시간 날 때 하는 거고요. 이건 뭘까? 카르자 심판관과 대화하기.
Got somewhere to be. Sorry.
So, tell me, Lady Johnny.
Keep poking. See where that'll take you.
응? 이거 뭐 미확인. 응? 밑에 뭐가 있네? 오, 뭐 대박. 아, 얘가 술집인가 보네. 예.
Savior, thank you for taking the time. My condolences that you had to endure Ulvin's bloviating.
I've gotten worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is barren light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvin up.
꽤나 싫은가 보네.
What is this concession decree that Ulvin wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to...
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram, he could secure more investment.
He can't get those investments without...
No. Not while... Hence, why the concession is... And why blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How does blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks help Ulvin?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but chain scrape is all gears and rust and bad ale. Claiming that the Karja loosed the bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. And with the bristlebacks bringing work in the valley to a halt, Ulvund has plenty of time to pick at...
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air.
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chain Scrape. Oh, I'll find a way. I have to.
착한 사람이네.
I asked for the posting.
공존을 선택하네 그래도.
Oversee. It was.
But your job would like Ulvund.
Ulvund's not. He's been. Oh, I'll find. I have to.
You said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one, said the ground trembled. He took off and...
Good place to start looking.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming, and maybe then he'll actually focus.
열린 마음에 잡아. 진짜 열린 마음이네.
I need to go.
Of course.
아, 잠시만요. 얼마나 시간 남은 거야? 15분 정도? 여기도 서브퀘스트. 서브퀘스트 많네요.
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wild. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
야, 근데 얼굴
Are Ulvin's people causing you
진짜
problems?
잘 NPC 얼굴도 괜찮네.
They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount. They
And
울분 도가리.
I make meals.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town. Where there's a town, there's... So I got myself... Some of these people had never tasted... Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept...
Your last customer mentioned you're cooking where I'm headed.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decent... But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced... Even if I already had the right ingredients, unless you can sort...
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a new one forged. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way, assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
지금 가지고 있는 걸로 안 되나?
Gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
Already
hello
got
again.
About that. What did you need to...
I can use it until I get... You could probably pull one out of a scrounger scrap. I'll clean it first. And for the dish itself, then I can get cooking.
I should be...
예. 아까 친구도 오라 그러지 않았나? 친구는 어디 있는 거야? 아까 그 손에 찡박힌 옷 입고 있는 애. 술집에 있겠다고 했는데 없네요. 얘 뭐야?
Hey Ray, change your mind about that
Fancy a game of
아 저기 있네.
Come to revel in some strikes.
I was just...
First time. Well, aren't I got an extra set? A Tanakh. Sit. I'll give you something special if you.
초심자의 튜토리얼. 아 뭐지?
All right, let's start off.
아 이런 거 어려운데 나.
Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game. We each get a set of pieces, and each machine, to win the game, you'll need. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these. You see that number on the top? That there is how many victory points you'll get for. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move.
아 무브.
How powerful the distance they can strike, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. I own the board, so since this is your first, usually you get to choose which pieces to pick up that machine piece to your right. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round. So go ahead and... Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to attack one of my machines. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, this means your machine can... Did you get all that?
알았어, 말이 길어. 계속해보자.
You're a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Go ahead, just sprint over to my machine. Try sprinting up to one of my machines.
아, 일로 가라고 질주?
Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick.
공격을 안 하네.
The one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked my... Go ahead and move down. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And you'd be sacrificing your... But sometime, overcharge your machine to... Ain't that a thrill?
Okay.
Now, because we both get the good news is, you're gonna receive your which means you can reach the coveted 7. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way. Now, that means that wasn't so hard, was it?
뭐 이런 거네요.
Check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind.
I'll try.
Oh, these are all my spare pieces. It's a small set to be but it should. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find, I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me, always a pleasure to help out. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I could even teach you a few more tricks.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
이거는 천천히. 예, 스트라이크 게임. 예, 뭐, 어우, 야, 뭐 어려워. 그냥 쉬웠으면 좋겠어.
Don't be a stranger.
이런 건 따로 제가 공부를 해야 될 것 같고요. 시간이 얼마나 남은 거야 지금? 아유 이제 뭐 다 됐네요. 친구랑 얘기나.
After all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree.
속옷을 안 입고 있네.
Weapons off the table. Don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No, they just showed up one day, rampaging around the... Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvund?
Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, but realized it was running smooth. Didn't heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light.
빨리빨리 넘길게요.
Another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around.
So about Ulvund.
Around here, everything's
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone. So he jangled purses all over Maine, getting investors to front claims on... Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King... That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign...
잠깐만요. 다 된 것 같아. 빨리빨리 보고 마무리 짓도록 하죠.
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing stone and timber claims couldn't be... No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim. And since Ulvund has it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality. So he could buy enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
예, 뭐 여러 가지 설명을 해 주었습니다. 마을 사슬갈이 마을에서 의외로 시간을 많이 보냈네요. 예, 다음도 여기서 계속 진행하도록 할 것 같아요. 예, 뭐 투기장도 있었고 스트라이크 게임도 있고 이거저거 둘러볼 가치가 있는 마을입니다. 예, 그럼 다음에 좀 더 진행해 보도록 할게요. 그럼 다음에 만나요. 안녕.